just want to say a few things on my mind concerning what's going on right now. I guess what I want to talk about was just the past 4 years and just remembering what made me even want to start broadcasting as far as my 2 cents in doing this. And one of the main reasons that made me want to speak out and say something was people just trying to tell other people, or just having the thought process of not voting, saying I don't vote. I don't vote for especially people of color, black people. People who are marginalized, period. Low income people, working class people, people who are even in prominent parts of society who just don't participate in voting. And you got people going around very pro-black, which I do love. Some militant, some just so pro-Afro, but yet we're telling people not to vote, not to participate. And then I begin to think about who likes that, who's loving that message. And clearly the powers that be, those who have oppressed us and who have taken advantage of us for over 400 years, love that talk. They loved it because that allowed them to elect people to continue to make laws that favored them and oppressed us. And as long as we weren't participating, and we have some of us telling each other not to participate, they could keep us marginalized on the outside and not involved in anything when it came to money or education or healthcare or police reform, because the police aren't bothering them. So they loved. It was almost like you were helping them. You were helping them without even knowing it. And I'm speaking to the people that religiously will go around telling other black people not to vote. Not voting was the reason why Donald Trump is in office for this term. And guess what? Participating in voting is the reason he'll be gone. Almost 81 million votes historically, the most votes that's ever been casted for a president. And it took every single last one of those votes to get him. That is Trump, the most racist, bigoted president of all time, in modern day times, actually. Even if the others were, they didn't do the things that he did to further marginalize society, further divide us. I mean, this guy is truly the king of divide and conquer. Truly the king of divide and conquer. But with that being said, I wanted to just, say thank you for those of us who finally got it, went out and voted, and are going to continue to vote. Also, because we voted, look how angry people got. They got so angry, they went to the Capitol. This is the privileged people. These are people who make money. They got so mad, they went to the Capitol. They stormed the grass of the Capitol, which is a whole nother story because BLM would have never been able to do anything like that. Black people would have never been able to come together, galvanize, and we wouldn't have done it anyway because all we would have heard was how violent we are and this. But listen, they got so mad that we voted this time that they couldn't. But they said it was a fluke. They said it was cheating. No, just everybody participated. When everybody participates, people who have policies like that don't win. So it felt like cheating to them because they were mad. So we had less people. We still had people, trust me, but we had less people telling other people of color not to vote. We drowned them out. We did a good job. And I'm sorry if you disagree with me. Well, actually, I'm not sorry. But we can't win a fight for equality relinquishing certain weapons, which is one of the weapons is voting. or we want to talk about justice and equality, but don't participate in the system and say, both sides are the same. And if you're not good at filtering or distinguishing one rock from another rock, or one thing from another thing, and you want to say they're all the same, no, they're not the same. I don't care whether you liked, loved, or hated Hillary. No mess like this that's going on right now would have happened under her presidency if she would have been president. But with that being said, now, God bless, there'll be a new sheriff in town January 20th. Well, there will be. It was voted in. And we see the hypocrisy that has happened at the Capitol. I want to see people prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, because these were terrorists, domestic terrorists, and they were thugs. Well, why were they thugs? 5 people ended up dead. Two police officers, and there may be 6 by now, but I'm not quite sure. But I know 2 police officers have lives that were ended, came short because of this uproar. And then there were some plans and plots. Now there's also talk of there possibly being invasions on all of the states' capitals in all 50 states. Trump has been banned from Twitter, from Facebook, from social media, from a lot of social media platforms, so he won't be able to efficiently disseminate his divide or his hate and pro-terroristic crowd. And this is where we are. But I will say this, and I'm going to let you go because I just want to holler at you for a few minutes. Again, this is pre-recorded. We'll say this: be careful out here. Be careful out here. I for the last few years, I've been, many of us, along with myself, have been saying this was going to happen, hoping that it would not happen. Again, hoping that it really would not happen. But really not wanting to say I told you so. But here we are. Here we are. He was okay with what happened at the Capitol. Why? Because they were fighting on his behalf. They think they were fighting for America. No, they were not fighting for America, because if they were fighting for America, they would be fighting for democracy. Democracy is a voting system where those who are willing participate in casting their vote for who they think will safely and righteously govern us. For so many, we had not had that right to do that. And now when we were given the right, then to have people telling us, oh, don't vote, I don't vote, it's a waste of time, is what got us here. But what's getting us out is those of us who did participate in this one, participating in the highest election count ever in history. And that evokes change. And these people who are the status quo, people who want to stay in control, they didn't like it. They stormed the Capitol, and then there's talks of them further doing even more during the inauguration day, on the inauguration day. So I'm just telling everybody, First Amendment, Second Amendment, remember your rights. Protect yourself out here. Have eyes in the back of your head, and just be careful. And that's an understatement. Again, I wish people could look back and say, Rob, you were talking all this stuff and this was going to happen, and nothing happened. I wish Trump would have been smart enough to have a peaceful transfer. But he wasn't, and he didn't. And exactly what we predicted. The only thing that hasn't happened yet is he hasn't gotten dragged out of the White House yet. That's the only thing that hasn't happened yet. But we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, this is Rob with my 2 cents. I want to thank you for taking a few moments to listen to me. Again, this is pre-recorded. My Cash App is $1972 THUD right here on the screen. Appreciate anybody, $1, $2, whatever you can give me towards my broadcasting. I got some new equipment now. I'll be having interviews. And I just want to appreciate everybody who has participated in the programs before. And I ask that you help keep us going. Thank you. This has been Rob, and this has been my 2 cents. This is where I bring my 2 cents. You give your 2 cents. And you know what? Together, we can make that change. We have. Talk to y'all later. We'll have a show soon. Peace.